Now to be clear, most Earth souls do want to have mass arrests and the creation of a wonderful new Earth, or they want to leave Earth and continue their lessons elsewhere. They just don't want that to happen quite yet. It's going to happen, people's souls just want a bit more time. Furthermore, Source and us positive galactics also want the situation on Earth to end in the not too distant future, so that is going to happen. It's not our primary consideration, but in some ways the rest of the galaxy can't move forward until Earth is liberated. Plus, we recognize that while star seeds and light workers are a minority on Earth, they still very much matter, and in fact we owe them a great deal. So we're not going to ignore their wishes forever. In the not too distant future, you really will see new Earth. Now, in the past, messages along these lines have sometimes been accused of moral relativism. Or in other words, people have sometimes said that messages are bad if they're not deeply invested in stopping evil. To that, I would ask you to reflect if you are in resistance to pain in either yourself or others. And if you are, well, resistance to pain creates suffering. Now, your soul might in the present desire to have pleasant experiences or to meet your galactic family, but that's not the same as labeling pain as a bad or invalid experience. Your soul isn't in resistance to pain in either yourself or others. To your soul, it's all just experiences. Also, in the very distant past, Source has experimented with situations where there was zero evil. And it was boring, and both Source and those souls desired more experiences and more excitement and more contrast and catalysts. Hence, beings started experimenting with losing their felt connection to Source and to others, and so loneliness and evil were created. Still, I would not condemn evil. In fact, I would even drop the concept of evil entirely and just talk about people who are currently behaving destructively and whom innocents need to be protected against. After all, pretty much everyone has had incarnations where they were good, and incarnations where they were evil. So just because someone right now is in a good incarnation, why does that make them superior to someone who right now is in an evil incarnation? If you condemn evil, you condemn yourself, for you have been evil. And just because your evil was in a past life, doesn't make you superior to someone who is currently living a life where they are evil. You're not superior to them. You just happen to be in a moment in time right now where you're being good and they're being evil. But in another time, they were good and you were evil, and the pain you caused wasn't any less real just because that happens to be in the past right now. Now yes, it is entirely fine to prohibit people from hurting others. It is also a good idea to actively stop destructive people from harming innocents. I completely agree with those things. And yes, aligning with the light is a much preferable path to being destructive, for several reasons. I would advise others to align with the light. However, once we agree that people shouldn't hurt others and that innocence should be protected, once we agree on that, it doesn't actually help to judge evil people. The judging other people part, the part where you label them as bad, doesn't contribute anything. You can just agree that people shouldn't hurt others, and that innocence should be protected, without judging evil people. I get that most likely you have been hurt in this life by evil people, and again I fully agree that they should be stopped from hurting other people. Yet, ultimately the solution to the pain of having been hurt by evil people is to look inwards at your own pain and at your own hurt inner parts. And as the last part of this message, consider the following metaphor. Imagine that you are the mouth of a man named Tom. In this metaphor, you as the mouth represents your conscious mind, and the man named Tom represents your soul. In this metaphor, sweet food represents love and pleasant experiences. Non-sweet food represents challenging or painful experiences. Suppose that you as the mouth are experiencing that non-sweet food just randomly keeps appearing in you, the mouth, and you really don't like it. You prefer sweet food, which sometimes appears in you, but not nearly as often as you want. You as the mouth try various things, and some of those things help a bit, yet you keep getting less sweet food than you want. So you get upset and you label the current situation as being wrong and bad. You ask us Pleiadians to fix this unacceptable situation. We take a look, and we observe that Tom, your soul in this metaphor, is choosing to currently eat mostly non-sweet foods, along with some sweet foods. And curiously, the mouth, your conscious mind in this metaphor, doesn't understand that food doesn't just randomly appear in it, but that in fact Tom is actively putting mostly non-sweet food into the mouth. Which is a valid choice. There are health benefits to be gained this way. Painful experiences can lead to soul growth. So, should we as galactics intervene right now and make sure that more sweet food gets put into Tom's mouth? No, Tom is making the understandable free will choice to currently eat not a lot of sweet food, for health benefits. No need for us to kick in the door and force sweet food down Tom's throat, just to please Tom's mouth. We would advise Tom's mouth to realize that it is part of a greater whole. Now, are you powerless here, as the mouth? No, as the mouth you can certainly ask Tom for a sweet peach, you can certainly ask or pray for certain things to happen. You can use manifestation techniques. And if you ask for something, you might get it. But then again, if you ask for a peach, Tom, your soul, might decide to eat broccoli anyway. Which is why there isn't a prayer or a manifestation technique that leads to results for everyone always, even though prayer or manifestation techniques work very well sometimes. If you keep being confronted with a certain unpleasant reality, then that isn't your soul torturing you. That's just your soul repeatedly presenting you with an opportunity to release resistance or heal or learn a lesson. Apparently you haven't yet released resistance or learned your lesson yet, which is why the challenging situation keeps coming back. If you release resistance and heal and learn your lessons, then more pleasant things will start manifesting in your reality. And don't be too quick to say that you've learned all your Earth lessons already. Almost no physically incarnated Earth human has fully learned all their lessons. If you feel that you have learned all your lessons already, feel free to teleport up to the New Jerusalem, and we'll happily welcome you. If you can't, then there are still lessons that you can learn and growth you can achieve. And while I get that you may be tired or struggling, this is still a truly unique and exceptionally favorable time to learn lessons and achieve soul growth. Which is why most Earth souls want this current situation to go on for just a bit longer. With all this said, you will still be free. Your future is still incredibly bright and filled with light and grace and ease and connection and warmth. You are still going to be meeting us in the not too distant future. None of those things have changed, and none of those things will change. Even if most Earth souls keep asking for more 3D time, at some point in the not too distant future their time will be up, and the new Earth era will arrive that you and us galactics have been waiting for. And our meeting will be glorious indeed. And personally I can't wait to meet you. I leave you today with all my love and respect. We are one, Ashtar.